All right. Right away, the very first guess got it. It is Fan of Punch Breakdown number 24, Ramona Pascual edition. A flawless performance against Shamir Peshua at Invicta FC 45 this past Wednesday. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum. Get ready for it. Everybody was on board with that. So they're learning and figuring it out a little bit. As before we get into it, Rue asks, why does Ghost hate Jin Yu Fry? Any theories, Drake? I mean, I think if you go back and watch the Sohee Ham breakdown, I think that probably answered it. That one answers why he's not a fan of Jin. No theories needed. So without further ado, let's pull it on up and break down this minute of action, because that's all there was to it. But it was absolutely wonderful to watch from Miss Pascual, Hong Kong's finest. Let's get underway, shall we? Ramona Pascual's masterclass performance. Pascual's measured approach and calculated striking was very impressive during this fight. She made reads and responded accordingly. Opponent retreats to Pascual's rear hand. As Pascual notes that the opponent leaves out her lead leg as she retreats. Feints is showing the beginning motion of the action. Fake is showing the action as a whole, going through the action's range of motion, but not fully committing, as Pascual fakes the low kick over there with the green line. Going slow-mo the whole time here. Opponent is squared off, lead foot pointed to the crotch. Pascual pushes off her back foot to initiate an attack. Pascual understands that at this position, the opponent will be off-balanced when she attacks. Lead hook lands, kapow. 11 seconds into the fight. At the same time, she remains defensively responsible and able to block the attempted body kick. The opponent is looking high. Honest strikers like Pascual's opponent will look high and most likely kick high. Pascual is able to read her opponent's intentions. Pascual retracts her lead leg as well as leaning back, which shows she respects her opponent since she defends the low kick just in case it comes. As Pascual retreats her lead leg to the opposite stance to give herself time to see her opponent's position. Pascual steps through. Opponent's trailing leg is exposed. Absolutely beautiful outside low kick lands. Kablamo. Pivot at the perfect angle. Arms in the perfect position. The head is further back from the standing leg. This gives Pascual extra stank on her low kick due to her hip turning over. An aesthetically pleasing kick. Just beautiful stuff from Pascual. Level change to force a reaction from the opponent. Opponent overreacts to level change. The opponent is squared off. Rear hand lands hard. Good recognition by Pascual to attack while her opponent is squared off. Retracts the lead leg to defend the low kick. High kick by Pascual prevents future ideas of head movement from the opponent. Pascual retracts the lead leg to defend the step up inside low kick. Pascual steps through as the opponent is readjusting her position. The opponent's trailing leg is the last thing to leave range. Beautiful outside low kick lands again with nice mechanics. We are big fans of fighters who step feint. Well, except for Yusuf, who thinks that fighters who fight measured are quote unquote gun shy or quote unquote doesn't understand distance and should only brawl if they are short or have KO power. Womp womp. I wonder what people think who like read those comments about Yusuf who have never watched the show before. Pascual fakes a jab and feints a rear hand to get closer to the opponent's range, but stay just outside of it. Shorten stance to change the rhythm and hide entries. Head position presents false distance that draws out opponent's attack. She lengthens the stance. Excuse me. Step feint forces a reaction as well as hiding Pascual's entries. Shorten stance. Lengthen stance. As the opponent overreacts to the stance lengthen, this is psychologically draining for the opponent. A mental chess match, you could say. Pascual unexpectedly enters with a slap hook off the lengthened stance. Another beautiful low kick lands with Pascual displaying lovely mechanics. Smack. Pow. Lead hook to close a door. Side note, the lead hook off the outside low kick was the same combo Weili landed on Rose repeatedly in the rematch, but Yusuf still thinks that she was quote-unquote gun-shy and quote-unquote doesn't understand distance, even though this is a clever combo that requires timing and position. Thinking man emoji. Should have added that. Squared off. Opponent overreacts to Pascual's faked jab. Big mistake. Here comes the thunder. Pascual capitalizes on the overreaction. Great job by Pascual to check the right hand and go for the collar tie when she enters the clinch. Oh, no. Oh, fight-ending knee lands. If you have ever been hit with one of these, they feel like your soul leaves your body. Not a pleasant experience. Fight-ending sequence with some follow-up knees to the body. Nice one, Ramona. Ooh, hurts just to watch. Bada bing. Before the question, I have a request for Drake. Can you ask Ramona how working with John Jordan from Primo has helped her understand the positions in striking as well as the changes in rhythm? And also, what are some of the methods that he showed her to level up her striking? All right. Request granted. I'll add it to the list. Actual questions. Pascual's entries are difficult to read for most fighters. Are there any 145ers or 135ers in Invicta that could deal with Pascual's striking? If so, who could be an interesting matchup for her? All right, well, we actually pretty much answered this question earlier, Ghost. At least I would think so, as when talking about what'll be next for Ramona. At 145 and 135 in Invicta, the options are very thin. I mean, realistically, if she's to stay in Invicta, she should just get a bantamweight title shot. Give her Tanisha Tennant. And that would be the only person that would be able to deal with her. I mean, put on a great performance against Lisa Versosa, who I did not see that coming. 5 rounds of brilliance there. Almost finished Lisa, who is tough as nails. Pacific Northwest representing. That's the fight. That's really it. I think that'd be a good one, too. So if she'd stay in Invicta, just give Ramona a title shot at 135. Of course, it's been a while since she's made that cut, so I don't know if she'd even want that, but why not try? That's the one. That's the only one.